This is big breaking emergency news. We are now seeing a nationwide alert being issued to everyone's phone. This is going to be sent out on May 8th to tens of millions of people. Right? So this is big, and it seems like they are getting prepared and getting ready for something. They are testing these nationwide emergency alert systems and potentially getting ready for something big. All right, so really quick, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated on this big urgent news, and it helps to get these warnings out. All right, so if you guys remember, around 6 months ago, there was this nationwide alert that was sent out to everyone's phone, and they're testing these things for a reason. All right, if you also remember too, maybe a few months ago before that, maybe a year ago now, the U.S. senators were issued satellite phones. This is why you need to have some kind of backup satellite communications, satellite internet. That's what we have. Now they're testing the nationwide alert systems again. All right, this test is now happening inside of Canada. So now Canada is doing it. The US just did it a few months ago. Now Canada is issuing a nationwide alert. Right? We are also seeing cyber attacks on NATO soldiers. We will get to that in just a second. But you can see here it says there's a test of the National Emergency Alert System in Canada on Wednesday. Right? This is big news, and they are not testing this for no reason. They're testing it for a reason. They want to make sure that these systems are working in case they need to activate them during a nationwide emergency, right? And we see all this stuff bubbling up. We've seen all these warnings for domestic and international events. Remember, just 2 days ago, I made a video how the Canadian police right there in Toronto, right on the U.S. border, all right next to all these major U.S. cities, they're knocking on doors. The Canadian police are banging on doors. Do you remember that? Just a few days ago, this was happening. All right, and they're asking people, they're doing wellness checks. They're saying, hey, are you prepared for an emergency? Are you ready? They're getting a temperature on everyone, seeing what everyone thinks. I made a whole video on this just 2 days ago. All right, and now Canada's doing this nationwide test. So they're getting ready for something big. North America, NATO countries, they keep doing these massive drills and massive tests, and we could see something happen. All right, so you can see here it says that Canada's National Public Alerting System is running tests on television, radio, and compatible wireless devices across most of the country Wednesday as part of Emergency Preparedness Week. All right, and it's Emergency Preparedness Week in Canada. So that means it needs to be your Emergency Preparedness Week as well. Get ready, get stocked up, get your preps going, and get your tanks filled up. Gas tanks, water tanks, all this stuff. Get it ready and be prepared for an emergency, because we could see something. The military's banging on doors, all this stuff they're doing, CBRN events all the time, chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear events all the time, all throughout the US and in Canada. They've been doing this stuff constantly. All right, and it says the quote, alert ready system is a critical service that helps keep Canadians safe. All right, that's what the director of public alerting at Pelmorex said. And they also said that it delivers alerts about critical events such as tornadoes, floodings, fires, and amber alerts. And the tests will happen in most provinces and territories tomorrow, except for Ontario, where the test is scheduled for May 15th. All right, so they just had soldiers banging on the doors. Just had this. I'll link that video down below if you guys didn't see that. And now, check this out. We also have this going on too. Massive cyber attack has hit troops in the UK. Hundreds of thousands of troops. the Ministry of Defense has been hit, and it seems like the direct payment processing provider for them, whoever processes their payments, has their information to give payments to soldiers. It seems like that system was potentially hit, and they're saying that hundreds of thousands of soldiers have had their banking information compromised. All right, you can see here it says thousands of UK troops hit in suspected Chinese attack on defense ministry. All right, it says Britain's Ministry of Defense has been hit by a cyber attack that has affected tens of thousands of troops. It's actually over 200,000. It says the hack targeted a contractor-run MOD payroll system, which includes names and bank details of current and former armed forces members. It says every troop apart from the UK's special forces was affected, amounting to around 270,000 people. The breach also includes a few thousand home addresses. All right, so 270,000 soldiers as well have been affected, and they are now opened up for potential targeting, and it's a warning sign too. All right, they're letting everyone know that we can get into these systems and we can hit your soldiers, and we can potentially drain their bank accounts and ruin their lives, all these things. All right, it's a warning sign as well that bigger things are coming, and we could see kinetic hits to the US and NATO countries as well. All right, these things are escalating, and they're doing these tests for a reason. All right, and there needs to be de-escalation, there needs to be peace. All right, there needs to be pushes for peace, because we shouldn't be living in this world where all the stuff is happening on a consistent basis, but we are, and we need to be getting prepared for it and need to be getting ready for it. All right, so really quick too, guys, this is my generator. All right, if you want to help support the channel, you can click down below and you can get almost the same exact generator. All right, and it'll help the channel. And check this thing out, it has over 5,000 hours, 5,000 to 10,000 hours, because the meter only goes to 999 hours. All right, and we broke that years ago. That happened in like 2021. We already had that. All right, and we lived off grid for 3 years using this generator. Okay, so extremely reliable brand, Champion generators, and this is something that you need for your preps. We could see power outages, we could see cyber attacks on the grid, we could see critical infrastructure go down. We keep seeing communication attacks and communication blackouts. 911 blackouts were just happening yesterday inside the United States. I made a whole video on that. All right, so you also need alternative forms of communication. Have a cell phone, have wired internet, maybe have satellite internet too, all right, or a sat phone, and have ham radio too, if you're into that. If you want to be able to contact people over long distances with your own radios, then you can get into ham radio as well. All right, so looking at these things, even iPhones now have a emergency satellite communication feature where you can connect to a satellite if you don't have service during an emergency. All right, but those things are going to get loaded up quickly during an emergency. It's like these newer iPhones. I can't remember what model it is, but in the past year or two, this is a new feature on it. All right, so have these things. All right, we have satellite internet, and it has capabilities to we have it at our homestead, but it has capabilities too to just move anywhere and go anywhere, and we can just plug it right into our generator and have satellite internet capabilities anywhere. We can go in our RV, leave, bug out, and be ready to go. All right, so get these systems set up right now. It's urgent. They're not doing these tests for nothing. All right, they're doing them for a reason, and we need to be looking at them with a keen eye and thinking, what are they getting ready for? And we need to be getting ready for it too, right? So thank you guys. Please hit it up for me down there. I appreciate that. Helps to get these warnings out so people can see. And this is going to be hitting people's phone tomorrow, May 8th. This is hitting everyone's phone. And on May 15th, this is going to be hitting people's phone in Ontario as well. And it's going to have this weird sound, right? I didn't hear the sound before because I was out in the woods. I didn't even have signal or anything on my phone the last time that this went out in the US, whenever it was 6 months ago, last fall, when this emergency alert system went out. So I don't even know what it sounds like, but it says here the sound will simulate the tone of an emergency alert, and the news release notes in radio and television broadcasters may use an audio version of the test alert message through a text-to-speech software. All right, so it's going to have this weird sound, and they're going to be broadcasting this message as well, nationwide message in Canada. All right, so the sound, I'm not saying it's anything, but it's just weird. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know what the sound is, because who knows what it is. And another reason why I didn't want this on my phone too is that it's something that you have to click on. There's no way to opt out of it. You have to press on it, click on it. It could potentially be some kind of backdoor, right? That the government is installing on people's phones. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but potentially there could be some kind of backdoor access from you clicking on this. So I just wouldn't want to click on it at all. And I also would not want to hear the sound or the tone or get this signal or anything like that to my phone. All right, because who knows what it is. It's probably nothing. It's probably just to prepare for an emergency. All right, but at the same time, it could be something, and I would rather just not have it on my phone and not hear this strange tonal frequency. I can kind of imagine, I've heard it before on things like Amber Alerts, where it's kind of like it's kind of like kind of jars you, kind of makes your hair stand up. It's one of those sounds. And so it's probably just a similar sound to that, right? But I don't want to be in the path of it. I don't want to be in the path of the frequency coming from the tower as well, be receiving it. All this stuff, there's just a lot of things that it's better to mitigate. Just put your phone, turn your phone off, all right, if you're in Canada and you're dealing with this. And you can see here are the local testing times for different places for May 8th, right here. All the different places. Alberta, 11:55. So it looks like it's going to be at 55. It's going to be at 1:55 Eastern Standard Time, right? So that's looks like when it's going to be. And so calculate that for wherever you are. If you're in Pacific Time, Central Time, Mountain Time, then you know you're however many hours away from Eastern. All right, so that's when it's going to be. Maybe just turn your phone off for that little bit there. All right, just so you don't need this on your phone. There's no reason. It could be nothing. It's probably nothing, but there's no reason to even have it on your phone just in case it is. All right, so these are the times. Maybe just turn your phone off for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, like 5 minutes before, 5 minutes after, maybe even 10 minutes before, 10 minutes after, because it was saying too that these signals could be delayed. Like it's saying they could be sent out for like 30 minutes. I remember people were saying that in the US that they got the signal 30 minutes late. But then it's like, what's the point of this signal if they're trying to warn you that, you know, something's about to happen, it's about to hit the fan, all right? Bombs are about to be dropped or whatever, you know? It's kind of too late if it's 30 minutes late, if it's an hour late. The emergency alert's just kind of too late at that point. It's not going to save you. You would have already been toasted. All right, so maybe even longer. Maybe keep it off for like an hour or something if you can. So thank you guys for watching. Please hit it up for me down there to help get these warnings out so people know that this is happening. All right, this is going to happen when this video comes out, not far after, right? 12, 14, 15 hours after, right? These alerts are going to be going out. So it's critical to get this warning out. I just found out about this. They just put this article out today, right? They didn't really give anyone preemptive warning. So thank you guys. I hope you have big blessings for your life and your family. And I hope you have a big old blessed day.